Damn, little lady. You sure can't put it away.
Elevate your life and stuff like that. Why you can't separate yourself from your old crowd and like it's no hard feeling?
Leave her alone!
Was ever that bad. Like, she would tell me a little bit of their arguments, but she would never. Little sister, I think there was certain things that she didn't want me to know.
After you see me and you know I'm going to deal with you, so you might as well just turn yourself in it. This way we both can start our process.
Welcome back to another episode at Crime Cat Podcast. Today we discuss the tragic murder of Shakeia Allen. Before we start, warning, viewers' discretion is advised. In the quiet suburban neighborhood of Parkville, Baltimore County, Maryland, the afternoon of April 21st, 2024 was shattered by a horrific act of violence. The life of 27-year-old Shakeia Allen came to an abrupt and tragic end as she ran for her life in broad daylight, desperately trying to escape her killer, a man she had once trusted. Shakeia Allen was a vibrant young woman, loved by her family and friends. She had a reputation for her kindness and resilience, traits that had carried her through difficult times. Shakeia's life took a dark turn when she entered into a relationship with Amir Johnson. At just 24 years old, Amir had a history of controlling and violent behavior. Their relationship quickly spiraled into a cycle of abuse, with Shakeia often bearing the brunt of Amir's anger and insecurities. Over time, Shakeia's friends and family began to notice her withdrawing. They urged her to leave Amir, but as is often the case in abusive relationships, leaving was far from simple. Shakeia eventually mustered the courage to seek help, filing for a restraining order in an attempt to reclaim her life and safety. Yet the legal protections in place failed to prevent the tragedy that unfolded. It was a sunny Sunday afternoon, and the Renew apartment complex parking lot was bustling with life. Children played outside, and families enjoyed the warm weather. Shakeia had just returned home when Amir appeared, violating the restraining order that had been issued against him. His presence alone was a threat, but the events that followed would prove catastrophic. As soon as she saw him, Shakeia's instincts took over. She fled, running as fast as she could, her voice echoing through the parking lot as she screamed for help. "I have a restraining order," she shouted, hoping to deter Amir. Her neighbors, alarmed by her cries, rushed to their windows and doors. Some yelled at Amir, pleading for him to stop. Others called 911, desperate to get help to Shakeia in time. But Amir was relentless. A chilling video, captured by a security camera, documented the final moments of Shakeia's life. In the footage, she is seen sprinting across the parking lot, her desperation palpable. Amir pursued her, a gun in hand, his intent clear. Within seconds, he raised the weapon and fired multiple shots. Shakeia collapsed to the ground, her life extinguished in an instant. The video, which later circulated widely on social media, left an indelible mark on those who watched it. It served as a stark reminder of the dangers faced by victims of domestic violence and the devastating consequences of inaction. The murder of Shakeia Allen was not an isolated incident, but the tragic culmination of a pattern of abuse and systemic failures. Police records revealed that officers had been called to their home multiple times in the past for domestic disturbances. Despite these warnings, the legal system failed to provide Shakeia with the protection she desperately needed. Just a week before her death, Shakeia and Amir were scheduled to appear in court regarding the protective order she had filed. Neither of them showed up, leading to the order's dismissal. This missed opportunity to address the situation and hold Amir accountable underscores the gaps in the system that often leave victims vulnerable. In the aftermath of the murder, Baltimore County Police quickly identified Amir Johnson as the primary suspect. Described as armed and dangerous, Amir fled the scene and has managed to evade capture. Investigators believe he may have ties to Brooklyn, New York, and have appealed to the public for help in locating him. The police have released Amir's description, along with photos, and offered a reward of up to $2,000 for information leading to his arrest. Detectives have emphasized that even the smallest detail could be crucial in apprehending Amir and ensuring justice for Shakeia. Shakeia's murder sent shockwaves through her community. Friends and neighbors described her as a bright light, someone who brought joy to those around her. Her tragic death left her family grappling with an unimaginable loss. The residents of Parkville, too, were deeply affected, their sense of security shattered by the violence that unfolded in their midst. In the weeks following her death, vigils were held in Shakeia's honor. Candles were lit, flowers were laid, and stories were shared about her life and the impact she had on those who knew her. The community came together to mourn, but also to call for action. Advocates for domestic violence victims used Shakeia's story to highlight the urgent need for systemic changes to better protect individuals at risk. As the search for Amir Johnson continues, Shakeia's loved ones are determined to keep her memory alive. They have vowed to ensure that her death was not in vain, using her story as a rallying cry for justice and reform. Organizations dedicated to combating domestic violence have also taken up her cause, pushing for stronger protections and resources for victims. The police continue to urge anyone with information about Amir Johnson's whereabouts to come forward. Tips can be reported to Baltimore County Police at 410-887-3943 or 410-307-2020. Anonymous tips can also be submitted through Metro Crime Stoppers at 1-866-756-2587. As we close this story, our heartfelt condolences go out to the victims' families for all our stories. As always, we thank you for your support, and don't forget to subscribe for more bone-chilling, wicked, and twisted true crime stories that haunt the mind.